health and our good spirits and our humor and our imaginations and creativity. So this poem is brand new. I always use this place as sort of a laboratory, and it's called Air Quality. And in my note, I wrote, air quality, this is not art, it's science. Air quality. Our droplets as data, exhaled, coughed, sneezed, yawned, farted, however aerosolized, tallied where they fall, how they fall, the number per minute, speed of travel, indoors or out. Analyzed, trajectory, upwind or down, with mask, without, lifespan on surfaces, arc of travel. Our droplets, weapons of mass destruction, breath pollution, exhalation, spun into data. So that's my opening, air quality. And now we're going to move on to Sharon Zweigbaum. Sharon?
I have to do the tech here. I'm not real sure what I'm doing. Okay. Am I on? Okay. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Sharon. Go ahead.
Okay. This is a very old iPad I'm using, so I'm never sure. So this poem, I'm concerned lately about aging issues, have been for quite a while. And so this was written before I ever heard of COVID, some time ago, a year or two ago, and then I've got a couple of limericks afterwards that have to do with COVID, very short little ones. Aging. This aging business, what a challenge. It goes downhill from age 65. Maintenance, doctors and tests. Yet I'm damn glad to still be alive. I'm dizzy from tracking meds lined up in vials, inhalers, sprays, and lotions. Each day it is noon before I am done using all of the capsules and potions. Steroids for asthma, pills for blood pressure, cream for foot rash known as cellulitis. Add-on troubles with weight gain, hair loss, stiff joints from arthritis. But I still have my brain power, though it's slowed quite a lot. Recall takes longer and sometimes is lost. I cope with my book clubs, museum and theater treks, or lingering lunches with friends at low cost. As the weeks, months, and years tick away at warp speed, I refuse to surrender my wits. I'll temper my days with grandchildren outings, exercise breaks, as well as reading, neighbor chats, and importantly, humor and grit. Okay, this is the limerick. COVID means little is now on my plate. Tim Walls handed me a clean slate. I tackle the closets bulged out with deposits, but looking for ways to procrastinate. Another one, another limerick. There's a loquacious 70-plus gal who loves art treks with a good pal. The new virus, COVID, has put down a firm lid. Now she just goes forth to retrieve mail. That's it.
Thanks very much. If we have time and you have more, we can take them a little bit later, but we want to be sure everyone has a chance to read. So those are very, very relatable situations. Thank you. Our next reader is Tracey Neal from Columbia, South Carolina. Tracey.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Hi, Tracey.
Great. Hi. So for me, my faith is very important to me. So I just share my life experiences and, what God has done for me and I'm just unashamed. So that's all right. This poem is called God Did It. There was a time I thought about committing a serious crime by allowing my life to become society's mom to await the judgment seat. I felt so bad and my mind soon grew mad of all my problems that I believed I had, causing me to share defeat. I had no friends, and even though I would lend my heart to others, they made it bend, which influenced me to drop to my feet. I was abused by those who would choose to misuse a nice girl that didn't want to get hate to beat. Some days I came home and cried as I wish I had died, while I lied to my parents thinking there would be no repeat. I questioned God's presence and I refused to reverence him as my savior, being in my own imprudence because I couldn't take the heat. I tried to be accepted, but I was still rejected, and my spirit became infected with sadness, wishing I would never have to keep taking the meat. I wondered when my worries would stop and make a flip-flop where my flower might finally bloom from the crop like a willful wheat. I did not know how to show my hurt for it not to grow, but I needed to find my treat. Then one day, God showed me the way, and he took my problems onto his tray to make me very neat. God took control and filled me up so whole until I knew I had to reach my goal for it to go in a fleet. Now I can smile and laugh a while because my pain is gone for miles, so I can give a greet. See, my Jesus signed the resurrection sheet. I didn't have to bid it. I couldn't kid it. Time wouldn't rid it, but my God did it.
Thank you so much. That was incredibly powerful. And again, all readers, if we have time and you have something else you want to read, we'll come around again. Thanks very much, Tracey. Our next reader is Joan Hicks Moon.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes?
Okay.
Hi, Joan.
My poem is called Song and Dance. Song and dance. She's heard tell of these steps. This ladder leads to a secret dance floor, so they say. She does like a secret. She climbs the steps, watches, stands on the side, school dance style. But she does not dance. One looks like she's gonna salsa herself all the way to Broadway. One's tapping her toes so hard, gonna pound that floor into sawdust. Another kicks high, ready to join the Rockettes. But she does not dance. Salsa? Tap? Leg kicks? Maybe them, but not her. No, she does not dance. Instead, she breathes in the sultry air, tainted with the aroma of highly polished instruments, of beer, of brandy, of wine. But she does not dance. A tambourine now, a harmonica. Yes, a harmonica. Piano, too. Good little jazz band here. But she does not dance. Care to dance? A voice of control, of being held back, still around. Breaks her reverie, breaks her yearning. No, she says, old song, old dance. I will have this moment. But still, she does not dance. He steps back. She feels her soul open, wide. Oh, but why did she stop? Stop singing, stop dancing. She was going to change the world, wasn't she? Oh, yes, she was. Bread for the hungry, shelter for those without, heal the sick, save every child needing saving, end violence against women, end it. That's what she was going to do. Yes, that's what she was going to do. The Franciscans taught her that. at that old college in the Bluffs, taught her how to change the world. She hears the band start anew. She knows this tune, knows it well. Finger snaps, stand-up bass, bass drum, bluesy female singer. The finger snaps pair with the bass. The sounds collide inside her like an Oprah aha moment, and the beat takes her over. I can dance! Possibly she shouted this. All eyes on her now, waiting on her next move. Got her favorite boots on, favorite hat. Channels, Peggy Lee. Oh yeah. Foot flickers to the beat. Moves now toward the top secret dance floor. Everybody finger snapping now. Snap, snap, to the beat. Can't help themselves. Snap, snap. She dances, dances freely. Snap, snap. Emotions in sync with the beat. Finger snaps offer strength. The bass moving in her. She's grooving in it. Snap, snap. The joy of the dance rises to the surface with the burn of desire, of promise, of hope. My life, she thinks. My season, she knows. The feverish music done now. Her dance done. Boots still for the moment. Peeks her eyes out from under her hat. Sees them all. Sees them all. And they see her. She's back. A collective thought simmers through the crowd. She's back. Her song, her dance. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm feeling the groove. Really, that was a wonderful delivery. Thank you. Our next reader is Tiffany LaShay. Tiffany? Can you?
You there, Tiffany? We'll circle back to Tiffany.
Okay.
Move
Our
on.
next reader is Wendy Brown-Baez, and I welcome you, Wendy. Hi.
Hi. This is my third Zoom meeting today, so I'm glad it's poetry. I've been, one of the things that I really appreciated was being able to do yoga through watching videos. So a little salute to the yoga instructors who've been putting those out for us. Yoga class during the pandemic. It's yoga on demand time, and the instructor can't see if I'm doing the next pose correctly or if I'm cheating by staying in child's pose and peeking at the screen. Although child's pose, considered restful, helps my spine lengthen, it's not restful for me at all, but work. Hard work to keep my forehead down to the mat and breathe deeply. And the others taking the on-demand class can't see that instead of lovely yoga pants and tops that the younger yogis wear with such grace, I am wearing an old ratty t-shirt. And forget yoga pants, I am in my undies because, let's face it, yoga pants always roll down at the waist on me. And I don't have to clean the mat before and after with chemicals, not enough to actually kill germs. And I don't have to rush out the door to the bus, glowing with yoga radiance to be jolted over potholed streets. I have 30 minutes of class left to watch, plenty for me, and I have an instructor who is generous, although not the instructor I love the most, for her attention to my body's discomfort and I am flooded with such gratitude, lying on my mat in child's pose, although the rest of the class has moved on to downward dog and lunge, that my heart, lowered to the ground, begins to rise and floats away past the streets in their eerie quiet, to be studded with stars, dazzled with sun. Thanks.
Thank you. I could feel the yoga class. And this is online that you're doing it? It's a virtual. I lost you. Okay, can you hear me, Jamie?
Yep.
Lost me.
And
Oh, sorry. Okay. Our next reader, we've circled back, is to Tiffany LaShay.
All right.
Hi,
Can y'all hear me?
Tiffany.
Hi. Can y'all hear me now?
we
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. All right. This piece is called 911. So here it goes. Where I'm from, every day is a 911. Fingers trembling like Mary Ben Ari in a graceful solo. Strings following the lead as the bow goes against the grain to hit us until we can't go. I mean, we can't leave. Like blacks who get pulled over, we can't breathe. It's like being pulled over, it stops, we can't leave. It's like going to a park with dead trees because of dead roots. We're hiding led into temptation because there's no thieves. No trails to trace our innocence, so they fabricate tales for us to slip on our laces and be knotted like sentences tied by our fathers who left to be runoffs for our own dreams. To be deferred after being whipped into shape like mules, being led into a home team, I do my own thing. Stubborn like a mule, I've endured lashes and I won't blink. To bat my eyelashes so superiors think, I don't think. To wake up from my own dream, I don't think. To express my craft was out like sweat. I mean, it's fire like sex, but you ate me. So now you want to give me less. To push me into docility and submission, yet I came on top and got the tip dripping is my thing. And you're trembling. And now it's too late because you're too late. And I guess we never make it to a second round because you come quicker than I can drop the mic for you to pull it out to catch the pace, but you're too late. I make you nervous. I'm not sorry. And you're sorry that I'm not sorry, and it's a nervous. And sometimes I fool myself. How do you think y'all learn magic tricks? We make nothing out of something. I mean, we turn dust into bricks. I lock myself up too. Links on my wrist chain me to a gym like Joe Clark because I've got more points to prove. Stop playing with me because your minds are bound to lose. You ain't really praying with me. Okay, I'm praying for me to endure these things being thrown at me to come out clean like a King Corey or like a Queen Centoya. Thank you for your concern. I ask out of respect. When you make my movie, would you stop playing me? Provoke those tears of glory. Make me remember that time in 5th grade on the 11th day of September, the towers fell down, several stories. Like Babylon. Now there's trees burning in the Amazon. You're concerned about your paper, and I'm concerned about my paper because that's all that I could ever carry on. These planes flying high without my paper, they wouldn't be able to carry on. Peace.
Well, thank you. An amazing delivery. Thank you, and message. Our next reader is Sirena. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. It could be Sirena or Sirena. Sirena Pitts. Pitt. Are you there, Sirena?
Yes, can you hear me?
Hi. Yep.
Hi.
You're on.
My name is Sirena Pitts. I started doing poetry last year, around June. I do go by the name Rena Riches on Instagram, TikTok, and my social media. Recently, I wrote a poem about love because I feel like during this time, we just need a little bit more of it. I'm seeking love. I want it. I want to feel the unconditional, I love you through your mistakes kind of love. The kind that comes in abundance. I'm seeking love. Something that can make me feel whole again. Take me back when I was whole, back when I was, I guess I never been. I'm seeking love. I don't really know what you are. I guess I'll know once I feel it. This one time I thought I found it, but it just got attached to me, wanted to control me. I could have sworn it was love, but it wasn't. And it took pain that almost killed me to get it. I'm still not sure what it is, but I'm pretty positive it can't just be a feeling. I think I'm a hopeless romantic because even after all that, I'm seeking love, like a void that is controlling me in every decision that I make. I thought the void rooted from my pain, but my pain actually rooted from the void, which made me feel it's not much more I can take. I can't do pain anymore. So now I'm desperate to find love to heal this void. This search has placed me in a pain-filled cycle because I continue to search in the same places I'm familiar with. I think I found love, I get hurt, and now I'm annoyed. But hey, I'm seeking love, and I can't stop because I know it exists. I get caught up admiring the knockoffs of love. Sometimes I know I'm going to get hurt, but it's hard to resist. I'm starting to realize maybe love is not an it, but a who. I heard God is love. The thought is kind of crazy because that would mean I'm running from the thing I'm searching for. I guess I'm seeking you. Thank you.
Thank you. Our first love poem of the evening. Thank you so much. Our next reader is Giovanna from Sarasota.
Hi, thank you. This is so beautiful. I'm really from Western Massachusetts. I'm sequestered down here. And I recently wrote this. It's really a song in the style of Bob Dylan, inspired by somebody's comment that they loved a folk singer when they used to drive a cab and lived on Water Street. When you drove a cab on Water Street, all the girls were looking your way. You caught a glimpse in the rearview mirror, couldn't make out what they'd say. Peregrine falcons hunting for prey, a lighthouse shining at noon. How many tunes did you throw away? The waterfront darkened so soon. There's a taproot breathing a melody, green and alluring as spring. And the glint in the eye of the dragonfly won't let you forget a thing. Who was the guy who played trombone, wanted to sell you some tea? And whatever happened to Marty's dog, he yelled at him mercilessly. The Chinese girl who cried all night never left her narrow room. Jeff the super left her food, it was all for you. There's a hoot owl screeching your name, now the nightingale's taken a bow. Wasn't it pretty how she sat so still? Back seat's empty now. The deck was stacked and the money ran high. You bet heavy on her alibi. She was the woman on 7th and 10th. When she smiled, no money was spent. You couldn't believe the luck of the draw, the time you drove Jesus and the black outlaw. Just to be near them, you went a long way. You circled the park, back to Broadway. There was a joker on Waverly Place you took to the bitter end. He left you flat when he ran away. You thought he was your friend. Riding the wave of your heart's desire, burning from yellow to gold. How many lights did you run, turning from younger to old? It used to be easy on Water Street, keeping your point of view. You couldn't know how it would go. You were watching the traffic flow. How did you know Hammurabi's code was pointing its finger at you? Didn't you see Saraswati's wand? She was waving your music through. I couldn't believe the time you went past Riverside Drive. You circled the stars and came back again. Nothing could mess with your stride. The future tapped you once in a while, possibly denting your hat. All that you knew, all that you were, stood quiet in crimson and black. The wind is whipping on Bleecker Street, the past and the future entwine. The West Side highways calling your name, soon you'll be traveling blind. It all depended on the color of night that covered the right from the wrong. Everything lifted in the moonlight, listening to the words of his song. Oh, how lovely the words of a song can carry you so deep when you are lost and the way is long, driving on Water Street.
Yay, yay, really. You outdid Bob Dylan in his home territory. I love that we have so much music tonight, either spoken rhythms or singing or a lot of rhythm tonight, and that's really terrific, I think. Doesn't always happen at our readings. Our next reader is Narate Judy Keys. Again, are you Narate?
Hi,
Did I say that right?
it's Narate Judy Keys.
Narate Judy Keys, sorry.
Yeah, not a problem. I'm excited to be reading on here. So I'm just gonna go for it, and I'm gonna have you kind of think about what it means and what the title is. So comment if you know what the title is. When the clock struck 22, I was awakened by the smell of dew, searching for the second wind to knock my soul off my feet. Split into two, created unchanged melody. A whiff of formaldehyde, the second wind rushed through like a Katrina. Numerous times of any given day, these soulless breeze multiply 1 to destroy nervous system 2 and 3, rapidly change the rhythm of my heartbeat. Slowly speak to me, asking me to take 3 steps backwards, off to the next salon, looking for the next unknown victim. Run as you can see or smell, knowing the unknown is present. But time spread daily to make do. Cash flow to support family isn't enough when the clock strikes 22. The final chapter reveals my unborn child has stopped breathing. I faint due to fatigue. My dizzy spell conquer all. Death of soul depleting. Deadly chemical silently spell. Unsure, unknown, untested to notice. The danger of nail salon beauty rests in the hand of your story, our story. One universal clock strike noon, awaken our soul into active change of steel into movement. A chain of change, a change in you, a change in us. When the clock struck 22, I was awakened by the smell of dew, searching for the second wind to knock my soul off my feet. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to guess that the title is When the Clock Strikes 22. Did I?
Oh, the title of the poem is called Toxic Beauty in a Nail Salon. So I'm talking about the chemical that's going on in there. So when the clock strikes 22, I'm talking about the hours that it's going around. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Our next reader is Josh Larson.
Hello.
Hi, Josh.
Hi. I'm just going to get right into it here. This is a spring poem. It's untitled, but it's definitely a spring poem. 3 stanzas. Winter made love to the moon, producing newborn spring. On the doorstep, the baby was presented to its father, the sun. In the garden, the lilies celebrated, as did the celestial flowers of the night. Never before had the daffodils been this happy. This sliver of moon smiled on them. Awake now, spring. Suckle the breast of rain. Show the day how to rise and the clouds to part. Command the dandelions to bloom and the wind to blow their seeds. It's really nice out here, so it's kind of nice to be able to, I decided to try doing this outside today, and it is just a lovely evening, and so it's nice to read a spring poem on a nice spring day. This next one is more topical. I wish I could deal with all the information, email it to a destination, set chords to it, like John Prine. But I can't, because I'm wearing thin. Wandering through 3 rooms, unload and load the dishwasher, pretend to teach, put on a mask for the Halloween party at Lund's and Byerly's. Dry hands from overwashing. This next one is called Lily. Never before had I seen the rock fall, its gravity pulling it downward into the hands of someone larger, larger than life or humankind. We call the energy Lily, but we knew not why. She pierced the walls of our own invention. Lily streams consciousness on 14 screens, most of which none of us have ever seen. She neighbors newscasters sitting at home and plays sports in empty domes. In the end, she will persevere, as will the rest of us. Heavy laden thoughts turn to sand of our own inventiveness. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. I certainly can relate to the mood of that second poem. It's been quite a week. Going on to our next reader, Jamie Marshall, our host and convener.
Thanks, Diane. I'm not much of a poet, but I always push myself to write something for these open mics. I figure if I'm asking people to come and read, I should do the same. The Star Tribune, the paper here in Twin Cities, did a contest for limericks related to COVID and the sort of current situation. And Diane and some other St. Louis Park folks had submitted some, and Friends of the Arts, we published some of theirs, and I took my shot at a couple of limericks. So I hope they're silly and lighthearted. We're all stuck at home, going no places, as we try to get used to new stasis. It seems COVID is here, and at least for a year, let's get used to these masks on our faces. And then my second and final limerick. This new COVID life lived by the hour for a virus with oh so much power. I've developed routine, but forgotten hygiene. I should probably go take a shower.
Stasis and shower. Thank you, Jamie. Really good try, and I appreciate that you do this every time we get together. You're going to have a book soon. You know, I think so. So after Jamie, we have Dima.
Hi.
Hello, Dima.
From Virginia. It's my first time ever sharing poetry with anybody. So here it goes. My first poem's Untitled. And I'll start now. It's about how some people don't feel like their freedom has been lessened during the quarantine. How do we define freedom? Is it given or earned? Is it real or an idea? What is freedom worth? A child? A mother? A family? Or thousands of people? When is one free? When they can walk their dog outside or get a haircut? Or maybe freedom isn't a physical entity. Maybe it's something we have to unlock within ourselves. Because we are trapped by our everyday lives, bills to pay, tests to pass, and especially we are trapped by our own minds. And what happens when we're not trapped by the inessentials? What do we do with our newfound freedom? Do we go out and celebrate with everyone we know? With the price tag of another life? Or maybe freedom is not something outside. Maybe it's within. Maybe freedom is the act of unchaining the cuffs that holds one itself to society. Freedom is everywhere, in our towns, houses, and ourselves. Because freedom comes when one isn't trapped in one's mind anymore. And that's my poem on freedom. I have one more poem. It's shorter. It's called Luck. One never realizes how lucky they are until the reaper has paid a visit. To think only about one's stress, work, bills, failure. To make petty loathing of oneself. To say you are unfortunate, that you got the short end of the stick. The world can be cruel towards you. However, you have not experienced the true pain. The pain of losing someone you loved, cared for. You never thought the day would come. If you haven't experienced this pain, consider yourself lucky. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dina. We're thrilled that you're trying us out for your first run. That's good for all of us. Thank you. Our next readers are, hang on a second, I lost my place. Maya.
Right, okay.
Maya Waterman. Hello, Maya.
Hello, hi, thank you for having me. Yeah, I just had a week, about a year ago, and I kept waking up in the middle of the night and writing all these things, and I got stuck in the rut of editing them, which I shouldn't have done actually, but anyway. So I'll read one, okay. How did you arrive in this state of alienation? Did the words sting, strike, pop your brain into the inferno of the lost? At what cost? Screw it, leave it alone, don't lie. Granny pleads you. Try, try, try. Hold on to uplifting song, beat, move those feet. You're okay, stay, stay, stay. She knows you're getting it tough, getting it rough, hanging in tough. Find words, communicate your pain, rage. Someone who cares, open heart. Don't be shy. Who is this person? Why? She knows the eyes will cry. Loud voices hammering from the older generation, bringing you down in their fashion with such unconscious passion, knocking at your self-esteem. When they were kids, sticks and stones broke bones in silent, violent tones. Pick up the pieces, reach out. This is what it's all about. Turn it into a celebration beyond explanation. Create the beautiful you. Take it to another level. You're not going to rot. You're going to soar. If I can inspire you, Granny will roar.
Thank you. And in the spirit of soaring, and in that spirit of soaring and more music, I introduce our next reader, Denise Tennen.
Thank you. My old friends, Emily and Robert, did you write every day? Did the words flow off your pen clean and straight, or did you fuss and fumble, keep the early drafts and dither, wonder, were you done? Writing now, 20 years later, topics are the same yet different. The process too, words pour out, my body edits. Perhaps I always did it that way by feel, but now I know it, thus easier to do. Topics, far less angst. I'm still explaining myself to myself, but this time round, I do not require pain in order to start. And Diane, are we doing a second round to read others later, or how?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Denise, for that. A poem about writing and writers. We're going to do a second round now. And how many of you, if you would raise your hand, have other poems to read or a poem to read? Can you?
And if anybody joined late and didn't hear this in the beginning, to do the raise hand through Zoom, you click the participants button that you should be able to find at the bottom or somewhere on your screen. And from that participants screen, you can click raise hand. And if you have any trouble with that, you can just put it in the chat too.
Jamie, can you tell who's raising their hand?
I can, yeah. Do you want to read another one for us now, Diane, before we get into the second round?
I was going to read one that I wrote at the beginning of the coronavirus. It was written week 2, and now I decided to clean it up a little because it's week 10. So it's a silly poem called Hair. When we're all let out of this lair, what will be the state of our hair? With barber and beauty shops shuttered up tight, you can bet that soon we'll all look a fright. An inch a month, some grow even more. No barber to wield clippers, number 4. Curly heads will do their own dance untamed. The straights will shake a shaggy horse-like mane. Folks who die will show wide parts of gray, wishing for their stylist to color them away. Kids with top tufts must abandon their fanfare when those shaved sides are no longer bare. The stylish baldies, they'll grow some stubble. Their way cool look gone into the rubble. Will we begin to barber in place, cut our own locks in our own private space? Will YouTube teach us to take bold snips, adapt a new style held with colorful clips? For certain, adults, children, and Grinches will have gained by then several inches. We'll all emerge wild and woolly, unshorn for a while, and grown out fully. Okay, that's the thing about hair, week 10. I would love to go around to all of you and say, what are you doing with yours? But I won't. So our next reader is?
Next up, we will circle back to Tracey Neal.
Good.
Okay, can you hear me?
We can, yep.
Great, okay. This one is basically representing that I did not used to feel bold and, able to speak to people. So this one is called Hiding Behind the Corner. I used to be the girl hiding behind the corner, feeling like a loner. Yet even when I cried, I thought I had died to a world I had to face, but still the people lied. I must admit I couldn't take it. I truly believed I wouldn't make it. Then one day, something inside the special said, don't break it or break it. So I broke the walls, were tearing me apart and ripping out my heart until the fall was about to hit came into a line of starts. I just kept running since I couldn't stop. I ran like a criminal trying to get away from the cops. I got rid of the haters, the perpetrators, the two-facers, and the instigators. I changed my way of thinking and didn't mind blinking. If times were too hard, I didn't stack it up with those deck of cards. I gained respect and advanced my intellect to a place I didn't expect. Now I can walk up to a person and timid shy. I'm a newfound eagle and I'm ready to fly. I have this. My spirit leaks with anticipation, determination, imagination, and accepted adaptation. No, I'm not always accepted by those around me, but my soul has life that a blind person can see. I have a voice that needs to be spread in order to have true peace in my head. My spirit creates a difference in the essence of the confident presence I show when I decided not to let.
Tracey, excuse me, we had trouble hearing you, and I wondered if you would do it again, either a little slower or perhaps a little slower. Some people and I could not pick up everything you were saying. Would you mind doing it again?
Oh, no.
Tracy, I think the first time through we could hear you just fine. So I don't know if the headset is new the second time or what, but We didn't have trouble the first time, but yeah, this time there was some static coming through, I'm sorry to say.
Okay. Yeah, without the headset, you're not going to hear me at all. So,
Well, let's
just try again.
We're still getting static, so why don't we come back to you at the end? And if the static, maybe it's internet connection or something. So
yeah, probably.
We'll come back to you. Sorry about that.
Okay. Our next reader, coming around again, Wendy Brown-Baez.
Okay. All right. So in the beginning, I wonder if you guys remember in the beginning of National Poetry Month, which was started in April, there was the pink moon. You guys remember? It was like this special, unusually super moon called the pink moon. Love of small things. I want the pink moon to hang on my ear, although it is not a small thing. Acupuncture points to every organ are located in the ear, although health is not a small thing. Beauty that makes us kneel in praise can be found in a row of purple and pink petunias, although these are just a memory, and neither petunias nor memories are small things. For lunch, I have choices of soup or salad with crunchy bread for those who are hungry, not small at all. And my bed is covered in soft, clean sheets. For those without a bed, this counts as enormous. Those I love are healthy and whole, and my gratitude can make me weep. Tears for the world seem insignificant when there's so much to be done, but it's what I have, small as I am. Thanks.
Thank you. That was very touching and relevant. Our next reader, Sirena Pitts again.
Hello. I did this poem called Welcome to His Revolution. The basis of this poem is basically like with all this chaos going around and like with COVID and like, the whole thing with politics and everybody wants to believe that it's so much hate. I think hate is what's viewed on TV a lot, but there is a lot of love going on. And I think it's just, God is just turning things around. So this is what this poem is about. Who do you say I am? Who am I to you? Be careful, lies will leave you damned and blinded from the truth. They may have misrepresented me. That does not mean my love isn't true. They may have thrown you away like you've done to me, but you'll be crazy if you believe my love doesn't extend to you. I'm just sitting here with open arms, waiting for you to come back home. You may feel like the prodigal son dying from things you lack, but my grace is me giving myself so you never feel alone. It's not the truth that hurts. It's the lies and all the confusion. I don't throw people away based on their life they live. I'm going to save every
Jesus had to be perfect, but that was a part of his purpose. For some reason, I hear that as an excuse of why my sons after him still choose to act as sinners, asking for forgiveness, worthless, powerless, lost, and confused. Jesus represented your potential power to the full extent if you truly believed and saw me as you. But yet you doubt yourself and believe what people tell you, but you won't read the Bible yourself or even listen to me because you can't hear with all the noise. Second guess truth I've given because you can't recognize my voice. Stuck at start like moving from the hell you're already in is something to lose. Have you not suffered enough? Are you not tired of all the abuse? You don't have to struggle without me. Just come home. There's riches I've already promised. You have nothing to prove. These earthly expectations and labels have you hanging by a noose. You're diagnosed with this and you have that. Now what you have is the power to pull yourself up and cut yourself loose. Diagnoses are only meant to help with the human body. So their truth only apply to the least parts of you. My people who know my greatness are consumed with making it into heaven in which I dwell. Yet they're not concerned about how they judge people and throw them away to die, leaving them to live the rest of their life in hell. If I'm already inside of you, then heaven must be an experience and not a place. You forget about my people and think I'm proud when my people are walking around numb to everything, high off a truth that's been laced. You want to please me? Then be like me and stop letting your word come back void. You put away your dreams and goals I've given you as a child like you've outgrown them like childhood toys. But those goals and dreams were the foundation of your future, along with the idea you can do anything. I get it, life hit, and people told you what your new reality was. But now it's time to manifest everything. I promise, and live in your truth. I've given you all you need and more. All of my riches already belong to you. You're rich in your spirit as well as your mind. Don't die a poor man. I'm telling you, this is your time.
A poem of hope and love. Thank you. The next reader is Jim McDonough, who arrived a little late. Jim, are you there? Yep.
I am.
Jim is
Yeah.
a member of Friends of the Arts.
Alrighty. I have a poem titled Darkness. Fee, fi, fo, fum. Our darkest winter this way comes. Trump-a-bum, bum, trump-a-bum. I love smart people, people who see a problem as a personal challenge, people who stick with the effort to solve it and stay the course until a solution is found, people who contribute to understanding how things work. Fee, fi, fo, fum, our darkest winter this way comes. Trump-a-bum, trump-a-bum-bum. I love strong people, people who stand tall against adversity, people who fight for justice, people who champion our health and welfare. Jack, be nimble, Jack, be quick, Jack, don't jump on that bungee stick. Fee, fi, fo, fum, our darkest winter this way comes. Trump-a-bump-bum, trump-a-bump-bum. I love people who are creative, people who are colorful and gently twisted, people who are cockeyed optimists. Fee, fi, fo, fum, our darkest winter this way comes. Trump-a-bump-bum, trump-a-bump-bum. Open up, let me in, or I'll blow your house down. It's my right to huff and puff. If you get sick, that's just tough. Jack, be nimble, Jack, be quick. Please, Jack, don't make me sick. Fee, fi, fo, fum, our darkest winter this way comes. Trump-a-bump-bum, trump-a-bump-bum. I love people who care, people who sacrifice for others, people you can count on, like a band of brothers and sisters. If you're smart, strong, creative, and caring, you've got my vote. OB1, you're our only hope. To read a second one?
Yep.
A little bit more optimistic, light. It's entitled Light. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. Mr. Bluebird's on my shoulder. My, oh my, it's a wonderful day. Springtime in Minnesota, lush and green, even dandelions stretch to be seen. That red, red robin keeps bob, bob, bobbin'. Lilacs in bloom with sweet perfume. Plenty of sunshine coming my way. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day.
Thank you, Jim, for the politics and the springtime and the riff on old rhymes and old nursery rhymes and songs. Our next reader, rounding again, is Narate.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to read a short poem. It's called Motherhood. I have a 19-year-old son, and this poem is dedicated to him. His name is Ethan. In Khmer, mother-to-be crossed 3 oceans. In America, daughters in search of meanings, leaving green grasses on the other side, widening. Daily reward, many arguments, different stage of training, modifying thoughts, sharpening, losing oneself to the greatest, enjoying of abundance, hugs, kisses, paper-made flowers, and I love you notes, asking why. The answers are on your parents' eye. are the answer are upon your curious eyes. Motherhood.
Lucky him. Our next reader, Josh.
Hello again. So every Sunday I go to Lunds and Byerly's to get groceries, which is just kind of like a domestic common thing we all do. Last Sunday it was really, the whole weekend it was in St. Louis Park. I know we're all over the country here. We had a really rainy weekend here in St. Louis Park. And so I got to the grocery store and I looked out the window and it was raining. I didn't want to get out of my car and go get groceries. And all of a sudden, I just wrote a poem on my shopping list. So this story is probably better than the poem itself, but whatever. Here's what I wrote on my shopping list before entering Lunds and Byerly's. A song, a pen, nothing to do, rework the lines, find the time, freeze the fire on the wire, dire straits, nobody waits to hear you. Don't you see? You're just like me, but totally different. I fuss over my words, don't like the way I sound. I'm not your bird or your stepping stone. Don't feed me or walk on me. I loathe your callousness. In the end, we'll pull it together. Rebirth by earth, a linking chain to society. Thank you.
Thank you. I think we're all going to be jealous that you could write your poem in Byerly's supermarket or Lunds, whichever, on a scrap of paper. I'm certainly jealous. So thank you very much. Our next reader is Imogen, or Imogen. And Imogen has not read before. This is her first.
Hi, sorry. I feel like I'm trying to unmute when Jamie's unmuted me, so we're kind of like playing tag a little bit. Hi. So I have two short poems. The first one is called Melting Time. Cycles like ripples spiral, minutes, hours, days lost, between crests rolling away in a vast body whose borders are unknown, but judged by the reverberation of critters lapping, venturing into shallow ends, tell a shrinking tale. As the sun makes its presence felt, then press a body heat oppressive to drain from vulnerable facets made visible from ascending evaporation of the magnetized core, pulled as if by a warlock's hands toward inevitable annihilation. The next one, I can't really tell what it is. It's sort of, I guess it's a prose poem, whatever, I'll just read it. It's called Aura. Strangely, death seems to continue to bring beautiful life stories and poetry into my life. While if we can let go of the gathering of the physical and the ethereal chemistry of intermingling elements that form our loved ones, we see how their trace particles never perish. We don't love them for their parts, but cherish their totality instead. Even for those of us who only dip ourselves briefly into the ocean of their influence to leave with an impression of one of their many facets, like a poem, we must give thanks to their complex whole, because without the entirety of their being, they would not be able to produce the portion in which we partake. Depending on our interchange, whether positive or negative, we may curse or bless the person for their existence, thus that their life can be measured externally by the tally of those judgments, though that may be outsizely skewed toward the greater impact of their good or ill effects, while their core being remains little understood. Thank you. I appreciate being
Thank you. And I like your poets and muses behind you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Our next reader is Jamie, who said he had only 2 poems, but he's going to read again. Lucky us. Go ahead, Jamie.
I'm sorry to say, Diane, I do not have another poem prepared, so I'm going to pass the buck here. I apologize. I'm sending Diane the list here behind the scenes, but I will introduce Giovanna to come back on.
Okay.
Thank you. This is called Ahab Rap, and it was inspired by where I live in the Berkshires, where Herman Melville wrote Moby Dick. One of teachers said, who liked Melville, they said, he's a dead white male with a dead white whale. So that's how this came about. He's a dead white male with a dead white whale. Why should I care? Why should I care? I never saw a whale. I never saw a ship. I never saw a spirit spout. What's so hip about a guy with a headhunter for a friend who builds his own coffin for a watery end? What's it to me? If there's a guy named Ahab, he should have been doing his meds in rehab. Ahab, rehab, Ahab, rehab. Possession, transgression, obsession, regression. It's a guy thing, revenge and such. Get off of it, Ahab. Get a new crutch. Get a job at a desk. Get a job selling blubber. Get off of that, ocean. You be a landlubber. You made them die with your crazy obsession. Forget about it, man. Learn your lesson. Ishmael, Bishmael, Tishmo, Yah, Melville and the classics. Rah, rah, rah. Thank you.
I'm laughing very hard. I bet a lot of us are. Thanks for the Melville riff, for lack of a better word. Our next reader is Joan.
Okay, I wasn't really prepared to read a second one, so I haven't read this one out loud before. But I'm in the process of writing a poetry book called The Namaste of Staying In. And so these are all poems about sort of reflection and being in, but this one is on the sillier side. A most peculiar time. So discombobulated. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So perplexed. Mind meandering. Stopping. Meandering again. Full of thoughts. Full of words. Resorting to the mundane. Don't ask me how, but I now know the largest sassafras tree is in Kentucky. Feeling so cuckoo, I just might drive to that rural state to see it, touch it. News headline, buried beneath the fold. She was last seen moving her hands up and down the tree trunk in an undulating fashion. It was just atrocious. Liberating the tree from her grip was like peeling the toughest of oranges. And then back to Minnesota went she. So exasperated, all this talk of droplets, phlegm, cough, fever. Hope you have a mask in your stash, or no entry. Shoes, shirt. Optional. Hair so long, can't see worth a damn. Rapunzel, jealous, guaranteed. So temperamental, the rebel in me ready to reconnoiter a mission with the power ship. Please let me see and touch. Yes, touch a human being. What will it feel like to touch someone? Will the skin sizzle like a Ruth's Chris steak? Digressing into steak territory of the restaurateur type, must stay focused. But what about a kiss of the crackling fire type? Lips fluttering, cautious, hearts flip-flopping, cautious, be gone. Awkward, smushy, too moist, too dry, just right. Decision made. I'll have another, if you will. A stunned crowd murmurs approval. Every prince and princess jealous. Guaranteed. Thank you.
And as we say in Minnesota, you bet. You bet they're jealous. Good luck with your book, by the way. Nice to hear that someone's doing that, that you're going to do that. Our next reader is Joan Hicks. Oh, sorry, we just did Joan. Denise.
Certain habits are hard to break. What's the purpose of all this getting down and blue over and over and over? I say perhaps I can let that thought pass, like one more wisp in the wind, and get on with something more tangible, like writing this poem or sharing something simple, a meal, a walk with you, my friend, clean up the yard, draw pictures in the sandy roadbed remnants, secret signals to tiny travelers, subtle bits of order in the chaotic universe. Certain habits are hard to break. I don't know what I'm doing. Discomfort with the unknown, forgetting to be right here, looking around at the beauty. Perhaps I could clean up a mess in exchange for the virtual mess in my mind.
You have a mess in your mind. I like the image. Our next reader, Tracey.
Okay, we're gonna try this again. Can you hear me?
We can. It sounds like it might still be a little staticky, but if you get into it a line, I can.
I'll do it. Okay. I'll try to do it slow. Maybe it'll help with the aesthetic. Okay. I used to be the girl hiding behind the corner, feeling like a loner. Yet even when I cried, I thought I had died to a world I had to face, but still the people lied. I must admit I couldn't take it. I truly believed I wouldn't make it. Then one day, something inside this vessel said, don't fake it, but break it. So I broke the walls that were tearing me apart and ripping at my heart until the fall I was about to hit came into a line for start. I just kept running since I couldn't stop. I ran like a criminal trying to get away from the cops. I got rid of the haters, the perpetrators, the two-facers, and the instigators. I changed my way of thinking and didn't mind blinking. If times were too hard, I wouldn't stack it up with those deck of cards. I gained respect and advanced my intellect to a place I didn't expect. Now I can walk up to a person untimid and shy. I'm a newfound eagle and I'm ready to fly. I have to speak before my spirit leaks with anticipation, determination, imagination, and accepted application. I am not always accepted by those around me, but my soul has light that a blind person can see. I have a voice that needs to be spread in order to have true peace in my head. My spirit creates the difference in the essence of the confident presence I showed when I decided not to be led. Did you hear it?
That was better. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Our last reader tonight, we'll wrap up with Sirena.
Okay, I'm just glad to be here. Everybody is doing great. I'm just so inspired. But this last poem is kind of like just some hope and like appreciation for people continuing to be good people during these hard times, and when the world just seems like everybody is just full of hate or whatever. It's just continue to be good people. So this poem is actually called Dear Strong One. And I named it that because in order to be good, you have to be strong because it's not easy to be a good person out here. You got it. I swear you got it. You're different because you love people no matter what. You love people regardless. It's who you are. Greatness is embedded in you, even though hard times have you feeling like you forgot it. You're needed even though people tend to forget about you. You remain genuine. You smile back knowing they use that same mouth to talk about you. The weight is impeccable, but you can't give up now. You wouldn't dare.
Other people can match energies given, but you got to lead regardless. And I swear it don't even seem like it's fair, but I see you. I swear I do. I see how you sit in your car and internalize your pain because you refuse to treat people how they treat you. Because you know it's nothing but a cycle. Pain inflicting pain. Surrounded by zombies, hurting people they love like they have something to gain. I see how it scares you. The zombies and all the masks. I see how even with you struggling with your own battles, you convince them of another way because you know their mask won't last. It's October now, but it's been looking like Halloween this whole year. Pain don't heal pain. Hey, can y'all turn this mic up? Because these ain't just words to a beat. It's a truth you need to hear. I see you to all my queens and kings. It don't matter what your race is. Just lift your arms up because the only thing that matters is what lies in between. Look, we run this world. Our past don't have to control us because the beauty of our species is not what's on the outside. It's the fact that we're capable of not looking like what we've been through, even though that's not what they told us. Something that people can't comprehend, something they don't get. But I see you. I see how you stand strong against every single hit and how you sit there and wonder how people you trusted could turn their back. But you got to realize it has nothing to do with you. Your light is so bright that it shines on places in them that they lack. But I see you, and I promise it'll be worth it. Just stay strong and keep pushing because they need to see something different to end their painful cycle. And I know all this pain is getting to you, but you got to use God as your cushion. Whether they say it or not, they need you to last more than you could ever imagine because your mindset is crazy. Because when God not opening doors, you still celebrating over the opening of cabinets. Because you know you got to be faithful over a few things to get blessed with something big. I see how you're determined to make your pain mean something. All the pain you experienced as a little kid. I see you, not in just you, but everyone. The devil will no longer use us as bait. God can bring you back from anything. I swear it's never too late. I told you you got it. I swear you do. I know you want to change the world and fulfill your purpose. Trust. You're doing exactly that just by being you.
What a great note to end on. And thank you so much to Jamie for hosting with me. And thank you all for sharing your work from near and far. Work about love, work about politics, work about poetry, and the beautiful voices and rhythm. I think we all, if we could applaud loudly, would applaud very loudly. We hope to see you again. And as I said, I feel as if I've met a whole bunch of new people in a time when it's been harder to meet people. So thank you all. Thank you, Jamie, and come again.